This is Justin Case of America Newscape, joining our friend and lifestyle luminary Joyce Rockwood. Joyce joins us to share sugar solutions. Greetings, Joyce. Welcome back to American Newscape.
It's great to be back.
Well, it's great to have you back. Okay. Joyce, in our last segment, you spoke with us about the dangers of artificial sweeteners and the effects they have on our brain chemistry and how they increase the rate of various diseases. Welcome back to speak a bit more on this topic, and please offer some natural sugar solutions. What are some of the steps you can share for our audience and me, I don't know if that's correct, me and my audience, who want to make healthier choices and move away from eating highly processed foods and refined sugars?
My audience and me, you had it right the first time. Never second guess your gut.
Well, except when it comes to speaking. Okay.
So what are some of the steps we can share? First of all, before I share some of those steps, what I want to do is quickly review, why you should. Why are we doing this? Why is it important to move away from highly refined sugar? Why is it important to move away from highly processed foods? It's like, well, we can get them quickly and in a pinch, but they do have there's a downside to eating them. So highly processed foods and refined sugar, they tax the liver, right? In the last segment that we did, we talked about that in depth. So you can always go back into the incredible America Newscape library and check out the previous segment where we took a deeper dive into the biochemistry of that. So refined sugar, it really taxes the liver. It creates a very high level of stress in the body, not only in the liver, but fully and systemically. And it's related to such things as blurry vision. Weight gain is probably the most common one that everybody knows. High blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, fat, excess fat, which is weight on the body, as well as in the capillaries and in the blood. And, this can lead to potential stroke. And as I said, heart disease and even adrenal fatigue. So when people are dealing with that fight or flight issue, when they're dealing with, very high stress situations, sometimes you'll notice certain people handle them in very easy fashion with a lot of grace, and other people don't have an easy time with stressful solutions. And a lot of that is because their adrenal glands are highly stressed, and in those moments they get triggered. So when we are eating a cleaner, more plant-based diet, we find that people are more calm, more collected, more focused, less easy to ruffle their feathers, and they have an ease and a flow about them. There's less tension and less anger, right? There's like a calmer and a quieter disposition around people that are typically eating cleaner diets.
Are those the people that say, "Hey, dude"?
I haven't taken a poll on the popular colloquialisms of plant-based eaters, but we could do that in the next segment.
Okay, sorry, I had to.
I personally am not a dude person, but
Neither am I.
The best way to combat the sugar addiction and we're talking about like, how do we reduce, right? What are the tips I can share for people to move away from eating highly processed foods and the refined sugar? So, the best way to combat the addiction, because sugar is an addiction, there's no doubt about it. People are not, feeling out of control for no reason. The first thing I would say is, we talk a lot here about alkaline foods. So the first thing I'm going to share is to bring in more of those alkaline foods to support whole body detoxification and a reduction of the accumulation of excess fats and toxicity in the system. Now, if you're unfamiliar with alkaline diet or alkaline foods, just when you go into the supermarket, the easiest way to figure this out is you go to the produce aisle. That's your alkaline diet right there. All the other aisles of the supermarket, that's the acidic stuff. That's the stuff you want to eat less of. And so, a huge percentage of your shopping cart should be filled with things that, mimic the rainbow. And I'm not talking about FD&C, blue and yellow number 5 and all of that. I'm talking about Earth's polyphenols and phytochemicals that really support whole body wellness. So let's talk about an easy thing to start with, because one of the things that tends to stop people from moving forward or, cleaning up their diet is thinking they have to clean up everything in day one. And that's not how it works. So much like taking on a new job responsibility, becoming a new mom or dad, it's like there's a process and there are steps to getting there. So I would just say start with breakfast. If you can start with breakfast and look at what you're doing there and be like, oh yeah, I tend to eat a bagel and cream cheese, or I tend to grab for some kind of packaged processed bar, or I'm eating some kind of eggs with bagels. Like obviously those are not very life generating foods. And so you want to move into something that is a more whole food option. It could be overnight oats. It could even be oatmeal if you're brand new to this. If you're looking for something even cleaner, then I would move you more into the direction of avocado toast. Even fresh fruit eaten alone is a great option. Okay, so that's your breakfast. And, if you are someone who's already eating a healthy breakfast and you're looking for options for later on in the day, because a lot of times people do okay in the morning and then they get triggered in the afternoon. So an easy way to set yourself up in the midpoint of the day with one simple thing that you can do that will shift your body into a state of cleansing. It doesn't have to be complicated. The one thing I would recommend you do is start eating a salad before you eat any other fare, because this triggers a balancing of the blood sugar in your body so that you're not going to be so drawn to wanting to eat the highly processed foods right after. When we flood our body with alkaline foods that are rich in minerals and enzymes that support our cells in functioning well and support our brain chemistry in balancing and support elevated levels of detoxification, we are going to immediately see that we start to gravitate towards a different mindset around food, as well as our palate and our cravings begin to shift. One of the biggest problems that people have when they first come to me is worrying about all of these out of control cravings that they're having, and they're worried about not being able to eat all of the foods that they know right now are not really serving them. And so if you just start doing one thing, I don't even care what you eat after the salad at this point, because again, if you're not accustomed to eating a salad as the first part of your lunch and you start doing just that, guess what? You have just created a level of detoxification in the body, and you will be able to trigger what I would call a cleansing response. And that is where you're elevating your biochemistry into a higher state of well-being. It's a beautiful thing to see time and time again with my clients. The second they just do one thing, it starts to create this powerful effect for them, opening up their energy and their mind and creating a sense of positive flow and what's possible, because they start to feel a little bit more refreshed and they stop feeling bad about eating the bad foods, right? So even if the foods that you're eating after that salad, as I said a moment ago, are not the most optimum, you will create better digestion just by making sure that the salad has happened first. Okay. So I'd love to see you starting to do that. And you can always pop some comments down below in the comment section below the video and let us know how you're doing. We love feedback.
Batwoman, yes? Riddle me this, Batwoman. Now, I
believe a different outfit.
I believe I'm having a moment of clear thought. We talk about brain chemistry. And we talk about most of these addictions they're in the mind. The body is not, it's not necessarily that your body is craving the sugar, but it's your mind telling you that you need sugar. It's your mind telling you you need aspartame. So logic would tell me, if I start to clear my brain chemistry a little bit by eating these acidic foods, having a big giant kale salad for breakfast, which sounds delicious to most of our audience.
I would never make you eat kale for breakfast.
But I would assume, so if my brain chemistry is clearing a bit, I'm going to have clarity of thought. And I would think the initial impact of that, it will help beat down those psychosomatic desires for corn syrup, for aspartame. So that's kind of
100%.
That's a revelation for me. I hope some of the audience feels. Yeah, I know it happens so rarely.
Jazz hands.
Okay, but that makes perfect sense.
Because here's the thing. Yeah, because here's the thing. All you need to do, anyone listening right now who's like, soda, right? She's going to tell me I can't drink my soda? No, I'm just going to suggest that you modify. And all you need to do to trigger a cleansing response and a gateway for opportunity, all you need to do is change what you're doing right now by 10%. That is a small fraction of effort to put out. And for what you get back on that is powerful. Okay, so yeah, not kale salad for breakfast, but if you want to, okay, go ahead. I don't even eat kale salad for breakfast. Maybe a leaf of kale in your green juice, which we'll get to in a moment.
Okay.
All right, so we're cleaning up the breakfast first. The second thing we're doing is we're having the salad first, and then we're going into reading labels. Okay, I'm working with a number of individuals right now, my private clients, and this is always eye-opening for them, right? Thing like, yeah, let's look at the label. She'll be like, oh my God, I didn't even look at the label. I just saw vegan on the front of the bottle, and I thought it would be okay. And it had a lot of, additives in there that they were not Rinse Princess approved, I like to say. So read the labels, because you're going to notice that sugar just has kind of shimmied its way into a lot of these condiments that you're buying, whether it's salad dressings or spreads, cream cheeses and things like this. Ketchup we talked about last time. Hot sauces have a lot of sugar in them. I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Joey Rapice of Joey's Hot Sauce. If you love hot sauce, okay, go find Joey's Hot Sauce. He has the cleanest ingredients, and those are Rinse Princess approved, and I highly recommend. So we like to support small businesses as well. So, read the labels. Check out if there's any potassium sorbate, highly dangerous food additive, causes asthma, causes skin disorders, causes a lot of problems in the body, flare-ups and allergic responses, rashes. They use that as a preservative a lot of the time. Highly, highly toxic. So, and you'll see it also on dried fruit, like potassium sorbate. You'll see a lot of times on figs. If you read the packaging of figs, it'll be on there as to keep them kind of very moist. So, no bueno. Thumbs down on that one.
Well, you talk about ketchup, and I was a ketchup addict, but needed to cut back on sugar intake. And first thing I did was jump to Bob's brand ketchup, which is the generic brand of ketchup, because they don't put all the sugar in it to save money. Now these name brand condiments are designed to not only keep us coming back to it, but attract the kids and utilize their sweet tooth. But ketchup is a very simple thing to make. It's a very simple thing to adjust. The sweeteners that you're using in it, if you like it sweet. So don't be afraid to experiment and make your own condiments. They're all very simple to make.
Here's a tip. Yeah, here's a quick tip that you can do. You can buy glass jars of roasted red peppers, okay? Fire roasted. Check the label. Make sure there's no sugar. They do have ones out there. And, so simple. All you can do with that is take it home and use one of those hand blenders, or if you have a little bullet, and just blend the red peppers up. And you've got a nice dipping sauce right there. It's going to taste a little different than ketchup, but it's certainly cleaner, and it's going to leave you feeling better. And again, 10% change is like 20% return. So watch what happens with that. It's the little things, when you start cutting out all these areas in your consumption where there's all these, sugars that are loaded in all these sauces and condiments, it makes a big difference. It really does. They add up.
They do.
All right. So that was reading the labels, right?
Exactly. And there are some things we need to be cautious of that don't have to be put on the label, but that's for another segment.
Okay. The next one I want to share is bring your foods. The order of your foods is actually a very powerful way to reclaim your independence around your health. So this is another little inside tip that I use with my coaching clients. You want to go through your day eating light to heavy. Okay. That's why you notice I'm not telling you to eat a big salad and yams and broccoli at breakfast. That would be later on in the day. That's why breakfast is typically either a veggie juice or fresh fruit with avocado, or in this case, avocado toast for the beginners. Okay. So order your foods light to heavy. You really want to move through your day in that fashion, because what you're doing is you're honoring the body's ability to digest in a reasonable amount of time so that the stomach is empty when you go to eat your next meal. This will do wonders for the way in which you feel around sugar, so you're not so triggered. It will help you to start balancing your blood sugar, support you with better digestion, better mood, better mindset, more radiant skin. We're always talking about the physical stuff too. It's not just about the emotions here. And so really working in that mindset, okay? That light to heavy. That's why I say eating the salad first at lunch and then having your entree, okay? Same thing, light to heavy. All right. And then the next one is my favorite, because when people do this, if you're addicted to soda, this is such a biggie. This does such wonders for individuals. Reduce. Notice I did not say cut out 100% cold turkey. No, I didn't say that. Hear me out, because a lot of times people are like, you said I had to. I'm like, I did what? Oh, I guess that was me. Reduce the amount of soda you are currently drinking, if you're drinking any at all. I'm not saying everyone here is, but if you are, watch what happens when you just take one day and you drink maybe one serving less. Because if you have two, cans or whatever it is of soda that you might be consuming at a meal or as a snack or whatever it may be, cutting out just one is the place to start, because the next day you're like, I did that. What's next? You have to make the goals for yourself somewhat stretchy, but completely attainable. Okay? Because if you make them unattainable, then you will not experience the shift. You'll feel intimidated, and then you'll abandon ship. So let's make them simple in the beginning, a little stretchy, because it might, trigger you emotionally that you're not having that one particular can of soda or bottle of soda. But if you can just do that one, the next day you can figure out where you're going to go for the next level. Okay. And that amount of sugar reduction in the body, you can replace it with a coconut water, which is incredibly alkaline, gives you great energy and great electrolytes, feels delicious, tastes delicious in the body, feels light and clean. It will give you energy. It's incredibly hydrating. By the way, quick tip on coconut water, Harmless Harvest is one of the great brands out there. You want to make sure that it's not a pasteurized coconut water, because that's like taking your money and kind of tossing it out an open window. All right. We want to make sure that you're getting either a fresh one, if you can get it cracked open for you, great. Or you see me cracking those open on my Instagram all the time. I drink them all the time. My mom and dad are like delivering them to me by the bushel. And you want to make sure that on the side of the packaging, if you're buying it bottled, that it is like a high pressure process, that it's not a pasteurized one. Okay. All right. The next tip I want to share is actually really easy to do. You're going to start looking at where you can reduce the amount of commercial treats and choosing cleaner options that are potentially plant-based or vegan. There are incredible options out there right now. Even if you are moving from, flavored potato chips that are commercial with canola oil, if you decide to eat an organic version that's not laden with all those artificial colors and flavors to make it like barbecue or something else, but it's just a cleaner potato chip, that, my friends, is the way you create a cleansing response in your body. Because again, you're shifting from where you were to something cleaner. It doesn't have to be an extraordinary jump. But if you want to go a little deeper, then I would move away from the commercial candy bars, and I would move more into an organic dark chocolate. You can still have your chocolate and eat it too. All right. And then, there's a lot of vegan treats, like vegan chocolate chip cookies. We've talked about this too. Vegan, whatever your favorite type of cookie is, there's, lemon drop cookies and things like this. Go to the aisle where the cleaner options are and start reading those ingredients and give them a try. Give your palate an opportunity to start shifting and being open to the new possibilities that you experience when you feed your body with these more clean or cleaner plant-based options. They do wonders for your blood chemistry and do wonders for the way in which your brain functions throughout the day.
Let me just share a couple quick transitional things people might want to try. If you're addicted to diet soda, consider making diet soda extremely cold, and I would say to dilute it. And Joyce talks about coconut water. Try a 50% solution of your diet soda and a 50% solution of coconut water, very cold, which will keep it very refreshing. And now you get that enzyme action going on, and just continue to wean yourself off. Then go 25% soda, then go coconut water. And pretty soon, I believe, once those enzymes start to change your body chemistry a little bit, you're not going to want to pick up the soda anymore. So,
yeah.
And there's lots of
it's a
hacks
transitional approach. That's great. And yeah, again, it might not be like I was saying, reduce the amount of soda you're drinking by like a can or a bottle a day. Maybe you're just reducing the serving size that you're having at first without obliterating an entire bottle or an entire can. So there's many ways for you to approach this. Okay. All right. So the next one I've got two more for you. The next one I have is juice it up. Again, if you're following me on Instagram, then you know that juices are a part of the daily ritual. And I say ritual because it feels more inviting. It's almost ceremonial and joyous. And I feel like I've never looked at an opportunity to take care of myself as a burden. I've always looked at these as really refreshing ways to elevate. There are so many people that live in countries where they don't have the opportunity for all of the access to healthy, fresh produce like we do. And I think that a lot of us take it for granted that we have this incredible level of accessibility. Sometimes you're traveling in countries and, you're on vacation and you get to the supermarket and you're like, oh my God, this is it. It's like wilted lettuce and, everything is very scant and there's not a lot of opportunity. It makes you really appreciate the incredible abundance that we have here. And so I would invite you in to use any opportunity that you have to nourish your body in a new way and experience some new levels of opportunity, not just in your physical well-being, but also in the way in which you walk around and the way in which you move through the world and the people that you attract and the energy that moves from you to others and back. So, energy is everything. When we put healthy and vital nutrients in our body, we feel better. When we feel better, we do better. And when we do better, well, the whole world can shift. So juice it up. Vegetable juices are one of the easiest, most profound, and the fastest ways for you to start squashing all of these sugar addictions that you feel are completely out of your control. And I know it does feel like that. And for many of you, that is where it's at. You do feel out of control and you are out of control. But I want to remind you that no one can take away your choices and that you have a choice. Your health is your choice. And when you wake up and you make a decision that you were built for something more and you start making just one simple shift in your eating habits, you will be amazed at how fast the returns and the benefits roll in. So when you start vegetable juicing, I know in the beginning, if you're eating a very highly processed diet, they are going to feel really weird and they're going to taste strange. And you're going to be like, this tastes like I don't want to drink it. And that's all right. Okay. So what you can do in the beginning with green juices is add some carrot, add an apple, and leave those sweet flavors rolling in because, until your alkalinity in your body raises, those highly acidic foods that have left that residue in your body, your body's not going to welcome in a green juice in the beginning. It's going to need some time to acclimate. All right. So just allow that process to unfold. Put an apple in the juice, allow your body to try it, try small amounts at first, see what happens. And, you might be surprised at where you are a week from now if you begin these things in the next couple of days. Juices. Okay. And then the final tip I want to share is around the support system that you can have at your fingertips with natural forms of healthcare. You see these tiny little bottles? See these tiny little bottles?
I see them.
You see what I'm talking about over here?
Boy.
These bottles, they pack a punch. I know you look at these little bottles and you're like, I don't know. Compared to a soda, does this look as exciting to you? Well, here's the deal. Nature provides all of the healing mechanisms, components, and tools that we really need to heal our body. That's what I believe. And, that's how I want to educate you, that everything that you need to heal yourself is accessible to you, and that your body is whole. And if your body is not feeling whole, it's probably because you may not have had the proper education on how to treat it with the greatest respect and how to treat it in a way where you are able to regenerate your cells properly, feel well nourished, detoxify at the right rate, and wake up feeling rejuvenated. So I want to share some information with you in closing here about essential oils. Now, what are the oils that I have? Okay, well, the first one is lemon. I'm going to just go through them and then I'll go through them individually in a little bit more depth. Then I pulled from my collection for you peppermint. Okay. Another essential oil I chose, I'm working with some right now who's never had a green juice. So a lot of times people will say like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do all this, the salads and green juice. I've never had a juice in my life. That's okay. I just met a woman recently who's never had a juice in her life. And she's had digestive issues. She's in her mid 40s. She's had digestive issues since, as she said, ever since she can remember. And so she's been walking around like this. Imagine what it's like to wake up every single day, not knowing if you have to run to the bathroom, not knowing if you're going to have like really embarrassing gas, not knowing if you're going to have the energy you need to go to work and carry on your responsibilities. That's no way to live, right? So Digest Zen, this is for people who have very serious digestive issues and are dealing with a lot of inflammation and gas and bloating and all those pains and discomforts, cramps. And then let's talk about the sugar ones that support those with sugar addiction. We've got cinnamon bark. Ruff.
Be careful. That stuff is very strong.
We're going to talk about the strength of cinnamon in a second. and then I've got my Slim and Sassy. Everything's backwards when I do the camera stuff. Okay, so Slim and Sassy, the metabolic blend. Because I know the guys out there, they're like, Joyce, really? Slim and Sassy? You want me to use an essential oil called Slim and Sassy?
Absolutely.
Try again. Well, for the guys, we're going to call it Cut and Confident.
Cut and Confident.
Jacked and Jazzy.
Slim
All right,
and
so let's
Sassy
go through these. Let's go through these quickly, but I want you to feel a little bit more incentivized. First of all, what are essential oils? Very quickly, they are pure plant extracts. And the essential oils from plants are extraordinarily potent and very healing. They're very protective of the plant as well. A lot of times the plants use their own essential oils to either attract certain bugs that can protect them or to ward off certain bugs that could, eat their leaves or whatever. So we use essential oils to support whole body health and wellness in a variety of capacities. And today we're talking about reducing our cravings around certain foods that aren't serving us. Well, I chose the lemon essential oil, which, by the way, is cold pressed from the rind. So all you have in this entire bottle is a lemon essential oil that's literally nothing else. So if I rub this on my skin and I licked it off, it's safe to do because of the grade is medical grade. And I could use it in my drinking water. And I would support you with having just 1 drop 3 times a day to trigger a support of cleansing the liver, bringing your body and blood chemistry back into an alkaline balance. And all of that going on in between your meals is very supportive. You start to notice like, this is interesting. I'm not craving that Milky Way. 3 Musketeers is not getting my money today. And you know what I would invite you to do as well? This is fun. I do this with my clients. I have them figure out what not taking care of their health is actually costing them. Now, we do that financially, but then we also do that, emotionally, and then we also do it vocationally, like in their life, like how is this affecting them in their occupation. So Think about and add up all of the sugared coffees that you drink in a week, then multiply that times 4 for the month, because you wake up not feeling energized enough, or around 2, 3, or 4 o'clock, you need something to kind of carry you through the rest of the day. And what if you had enough energy naturally to sail through without buying those things, right? So if it's, let's just say it's $6 a day times 5, that's 30 times 4, that's 120. 120 a month. What could you do with $120 a month extra hanging out in your pocket? Now that's just one place. We haven't gone in and looked at the candy bars. We haven't looked at the sugary treats. We haven't looked at like the, I say sugary treats meaning like, I should say sugary bars and breakfast, things like that, and other areas of your diet where you're spending money to try and give yourself this sense of energy that you're not getting naturally. All right, so that was your lemon oil, a powerful one and a simple one. It's 4 cents a drop. You'll even save money on buying organic lemons. All right, peppermint. So peppermint is great for you if you're having sugar cravings, because have you ever noticed after you brush your teeth that you're not hungry? It's a great trick. Next time you're going to go to the supermarket, don't go hungry, by the way. You buy double the amount of foods, and you buy foods that you would normally buy if you weren't hungry. So when you're going to the supermarket, you can either brush your teeth, or you can get set up with me with essential oils, and I'll make sure you have your peppermint. All you need to do with your peppermint, you can put a drop on your hand, smudge it, lick it off. You can breathe it in. You can put it in your diffuser. Oh, look, my diffuser went off behind me. And you'll feel very energized with this guy. Very energized with peppermint. It opens up all of your respiratory pathways and your breathing, gives you a great sense of clarity, mood, and mindset and vision. You'll be like, woof, I feel so focused. And I'm going to save the best 2 for sugar addiction, sugar cravings at the end. So now I'm going to talk about Digest Zen. This is a blend of a myriad of oils that when they are coupled together or paired, married, couples for 2, there's a lot more than 2 oils in here. We have the peppermint, we have coriander, ginger, caraway, cardamom, fennel, and anise. When you put all of those beautiful essential oils together, what happens is you have an incredible and very enmeshed support system for better digestion. You have, like I said before, less gas and bloating. When you feel better, you do better, you have more energy. All right, so that one you can use also internally in your drinking water. And it's one that I have all of my clients have on hand for any moments of distress digestively. And you can also use it topically. You can use it like on the belly topically, or you can just put it on the hand if you were feeling some nausea or upset in the belly, and just breathe it in. And in a few seconds, you will be amazed at how quickly your nausea just goes away.
Do that again. Do that sound effect. Wow.
ASMR, what is that? ASMR? Okay, then we're going to talk about your cinnamon. Your cinnamon bark. This is super potent.
She warned me. She warned me. I didn't believe her.
It's okay. That's your style. You like to find out on your own.
Yeah.
So cinnamon bark. All right, kids. Do you guys remember the days of having those little red hot candies? They were those little like red circles, or they came like little heart shaped. You pop those in your mouth and be like, whoosh, or like those fireballs.
Right.
Love the fireballs. Cinnamon is a very potent essential oil for balancing blood sugar and really quelling any of those strong cravings that you feel are completely uncontrollable around sweets. Now, I would be careful with this one because you don't want to get it on your lips. They'll feel like they're 10 feet wide and they'll feel like they're on fire. But what you can do with this is you can take a toothpick and you can dip it right in the top of the bottle where the orifice dropper is. And then you can just put that at the back of your tongue. Again, don't get it on your lips. The other way you can work with this one, I know I have some on my hand right now. I don't want to rub my eyes. It's like, whoop. The other way you can do it is you can put a drop on your finger and again, place it on the very back part of the tongue so that, you're not going to lick your lips with the front part of your tongue and get it on your lips. It just immediately shifts your cravings around food and around the sugar. You can add a drop of it to about 20 ounces of water. I love doing that. It has this incredibly sweet move that away so you can see my face, incredibly sweet aftertaste that's yummy. It's like, it almost feels like you're just like, there's this invisible candy in your mouth. It's so good, so delicious. Really, really wonderful. Okay. And then the last one is the Slim and Sassy. Okay. Now, the Slim and Sassy is a godsend, or just heaven sent if you're not religious. I am not really religious either. It's just like a colloquialism we say godsend. But this is heaven sent. This is, a gift from the earth, because it is, again, an incredible scientifically formulated blend. And what we've discovered is that when we couple things like grapefruit and lemon, which we've already talked about, well, we've been talking about grapefruit, but lemon and peppermint, which we already talked about, and then ginger, and then our friend cinnamon over there, those are all in the metabolic blend. This does wonders for balancing out your cravings around the foods that you no longer wish to eat. And it tastes incredible, if you can imagine all of those flavors dancing around your palate at the same time. You can put this one in your drinking water. You can, again, just do it like a little treat on the top of the hand and lick it off. Super delicious. For my ladies out there who might be dealing with some extra cellulite, it's also in a formulation for a body wrap. This is an incredible month for you to get started with essential oils, by the way. This is just like a thought I just realized, an end of segment thought I wanted to share with you. If you're not yet working with essential oils, I have an incredible program that's very nuanced, and I would love to let you know that this is a great month to get started, because we've got some incredible bonuses that give you some some ability to reinvest in your health moving forward. So if any of you out there are feeling really drawn to wanting to have more natural solutions on hand that are safe, that are incredibly cost effective, that are pennies per drop, that allow you to really feel more independent around, triggering these healthy responses in your body, then I would encourage you, because I don't have a lot of spots left, and we're almost in the middle of July already. What are we at, the 9th or the 10th? The 9th, this is going to air around a day or two later, right? So here's what I would say to you. What is not taking care of these addictions and these cravings you have around food? What is that costing you? And how long have you been saying, I need to take care of this? Where else in your life is this overflowing and getting in the way of your greatest ability to perform at the level in which you know you're intended to? So, reach out. There's a link below for you to set up a no-cost discovery call. I only have a few of these spots left, but this is a great month because I'm doing an incredible promo where you actually get $50 back to reinvest in your health. That's some other incredibles too that add up to a lot of savings, which includes some free coaching. So don't hesitate, don't walk, run, I would say. And I would love to support you in making sure that these sugar addictions are really a thing of the past.
Wow.
So thank you.
No, that was very cool. So this has been Justin Case and Joyce Rockwood sharing some sugar substitutes, some better sugar choices, and a lot of essence of essential oils. Thanks for joining us. Remember, free gifts, additional information, and links are provided in this video's read more. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected, and please connect with Joyce in the links below so you can learn a few healthy suggestions on how not to go bananas.